Welcome back to Weird Stuff in a Can, the 100th episode of Weird Stuff in a Can. How about that? 100 episodes of this series of weird things in a can. I'm kind of amazed we got here, but that's what happens if you do something every week for a couple of years. So this is the 100th episode. I thought we'd do something a little bit extra just to mark the occasion. So today we're going to get stuffed. So yes, today we are going to get stuffed. I've got stuffed cabbage. This is Polish style, I think, or Baltic style stuffed cabbage in sauce. We've got stuffed vine leaves. In fact, I've got two varieties of stuffed vine leaves. Somehow I ended up with two different cans of stuffed vine leaves. We'll probably open them both and see what they're like. And I've got two cans of stuffed peppers. I've got stuffed red peppers with veal and pork, and I've got stuffed red peppers with cod. So let's get stuffed. So I think what we'll do, just to have a bit of variety in how we prepare and present these, I'm going to start with the vine leaves. We're going to try the stuffed peppers with cod. We'll then try the stuffed cabbage, and we will finally try the stuffed peppers with veal and pork. Okay, so we'll start off with this tin of stuffed vine leaves. So this comes from Greece, and there are no English ingredients on here, so I'm having to translate as I go. Forgive me for any errors. So we've got rice, onion, I think. So the ingredients here are, if I'm translating this correctly, is rice, vine leaves, onion, vegetable oil, salt, some kind of spices, and acidity regulator. Let's open it up and have a look. Now, all of the things I've got today are to be eaten warm, and all of them suggest, or at least the ones I can read, suggest warming in the microwave. So there we go, that's our stuffed vine leaves packed in there. Whoops, ugh. Some green goo just came out. Okay, oh, there's actually 10 of them in there. Okay, so that's one lot of stuffed vine leaves. They smell nice and savoury. Onion, mint and parsley are the predominant herbs and flavourings I can detect by nose in there anyway. And then we've got this other one here, which has oddly got a plastic lid on it. So let's open that up. The ingredients on this one very similar. We have got English ingredients on here, so rice, onion, water, vine leaves, sunflower oil, salt, spices and an acidity regulator. More or less the same recipe, I would say. It'd be interesting to see if we've got exactly the same product in there, wouldn't it? Well, they're not exactly the same, so they obviously didn't come from the same cannery. These are bigger, and, well, they don't look that different though. Okay, so that's our stuffed vine leaves there. So we're not going to mix those two up. So let's go get these warmed up in the microwave, and then we'll come back and taste them. Okay, so we've got our two dishes of stuffed vine leaves. That's the Eridanus variety, that's the Tamtad. Now, let's try them one at a time then. So, the first one, which is the smaller ones, quite firm. Let's cut one in half and have a look inside. So yeah, no surprises there. It's rice and onions inside there. Let's have a smell. It smells exactly as you might expect it to. I can't really detect a lot of herbs in that. Let's have a taste. Yeah, that's alright. Nicely balanced flavours. A little bit oily maybe, but quite pleasant. Just really tastes of rice and onions. Not something I would eat a massive amount of, but quite pleasant in its own right. I don't know how these are meant to be enjoyed. My feeling is that these are normally eaten just as they are, but I always feel like they could do with a bit of tomato or something like that. So this is the other variety, quite similar in appearance. Again, just rice and onions and herbs in there. This one's got a distinctly minty parsley flavour to it, so a bit more herb aroma. Let's see if the taste is any different. A little bit more acidic, a little bit more herby. So of the two stuffed vine leaves, I would say that is my favourite out of those two varieties. But there we go, that's stuffed vine leaves, weird stuff in a can. Let's move on to the next item. Okay, so the next item is these stuffed red peppers with cod. I got these from Lidl, I think, when they were doing some Spanish themed week. So what we've got here is 43% pickled red peppers, 20% cod, water, whole milk, wheat flour, onion, sieved tomatoes, prawns, salt, oh, and garlic paste, which is garlic, sunflower oil, white wine and parsley. So that sounds quite nice. Let's open it up and have a look. I am going to have to use the pull tab on this can because it's just such a weird shape. Ooh, it doesn't look so appetizing though, does it? That looks kind of a bit nasty. I really dislike pull tab cans for exactly this reason here. That this, see what I mean? Last little bit goes right up your arm. So if you ever question why I don't like pull tab cans, that is the reason why. I've now got juice from this can up my sleeve, all over my shirt, up my arm. Never mind, moving on. So let's have a look. It's a kind of tomatoey sauce in there, and then we've got our stuffed peppers in there, which are pretty much falling apart by the look of it. Yeah, they really are. Actually, I think they might not be completely closed. I think they're kind of folded around the filling. So let's get that out onto a bowl. Yeah, the filling is actually coming out from inside. Okay, let's go and get this warmed up and we'll give it a taste. Okay, so that's warmed up. Let's have a little look. So it's very, very soft pepper, but it is pickled red pepper, and it's got this kind of fishball, almost like surimi, I think, probably in the middle there. I guess we're going to want to taste it together, aren't we? So let's see. Oh, the pepper is soft enough that I can just kind of hack off a piece with my fork, and likewise a little bit of the fishball there. Let's have a sniff of that first. Really, really red pepper. Strong red pepper aroma. Let's have a taste. Well, the flavour's good. There's actually almost hardly any distinctive flavours there at all, apart from the red pepper. The fish is just lost completely in the red pepper sauce. The red peppers themselves have got no texture at all because they've been pickled and then they've been cooked in the can, obviously. Nothing to dislike about this, but it's... Oh, actually now I can taste the fish. I had big piece then, and I can taste some good quality sort of seafood flavour in there. Texture is a little bit kind of pasty though. Nice enough, but not that exciting. However, I have a theory here. What happens if I do this? That's nice. Next up, this is stuffed cabbage. This is cabbage rolls. It's a product of Germany, but I believe what we've got here is really a Baltic style dish. I think it's actually probably meant to be Swedish, but this is made in Germany. This can contains 2 servings. Let's have a look and see what we've got in the ingredients. So ingredients are water, cooked cabbage, minced pork, onion, breadcrumbs, modified maize starch, triple concentrated tomato puree, wheat flour, potassium iodate, caramelized sugar syrup, ground caraway seeds, milk protein, concentrated tomato juice, thickener guar gum, maltodextrin, rapeseed oil, spice extracts. That's it. So let's get these opened up and have a look. I'm quite excited about this. Wow, that's a dark coloured sauce. Doesn't actually look like tomato. That looks very brown. Quite gelatinous. I presume that's the stuff that's come out of the pork. I don't know that I'm going to fit all of this into the dish. I see I think there's just 2 rolls in here. So let's just get one of them out and we'll leave the other one in the can. So it's like a piece of cabbage in a big pool of gravy. I'm going to tip some of that gravy back off of there into the can, and then we'll go get this warmed up and we'll give it a taste. So this is stuffed cabbage with pork. Let's have a look at the inside. So quite firm inside. I expected maybe it might be a bit more like the filling in pierogi, but it's a bit firmer than that. Let's have a sniff now we've got into the inside. Smells quite spicy. You can smell those caraway seeds, I think, and some of the other spices, the pepper and so on. Let's have a taste. Yeah, I think I can taste aniseed in there, or something like that, maybe fennel seeds as well. That's actually quite tasty. And nice and substantial. Yeah, that one's my favourite so far. The sauce is interesting. It's like a tomato gravy, but it goes very well with the pork and the cabbage. The cabbage is a little bit of a non-event really, because I think it's been cooked to almost nothing in the can. I imagine this is probably a bit nicer if it's made fresh. So far, that one's my favourite. Okay, finally, we're going to have red peppers stuffed with veal and pork. I know kind of what to expect here because it'll be a bit like the fish ones, but hopefully a bit more substantial. So again, ingredients here are pickled red peppers, 20% mixed pork and veal mince, water, whole milk, wheat flour, onions, sieved tomatoes, olive oil, garlic paste, and parsley, carrot and parsley. Okay, so I'm going to try opening it with this can opener because what that last can did to me, I did not enjoy. Yeah, that seems to be working. Yeah, I think we're getting away with this. Okay, so that's a better way to open these cans. Well, it would be if the thing would come out. Well, very similar appearance to the cod. A bit of weird fat there. Very similar appearance to the cod in red peppers. There's 4 pieces in there again. I'm going to tip that out into the bowl. Let's go and get it warmed up and give it a taste. Okay, so this is red peppers stuffed with pork and veal. Now that's really weird because it doesn't look any different to the cod ones. That's really floppy and I expected something a bit more meaty than that. Let's have a taste. Well, first let's have a smell. Okay, it just smells of red pepper like the other one did. Let's have a taste. That's weird. It's almost like there's a bread filling with tiny little chunks of meat inside of it. I imagine that's probably not far from the truth. So that's actually a bit disappointing. This filling's just, well, you can see there, it's just like a paste and then it's got little chunks of actual meat in it. Tastes okay. The texture's just a bit disappointing really. It's really soft, watery. Goop. And I would say probably of the 2 of these, the fish one is probably a better executed example of what it's trying to be. They're both really soft and pasty, which kind of means cheap ingredients really. Bread, a lot of bread, not a lot of protein. But of the 2, let me just taste this one again. Yeah, I didn't expect that, but I think of the 2, the fish one is the better than the pork one. So thanks for joining me to get stuffed today on Atomic Shrimp on Weird Stuff in a Can. I hope that was interesting. Let's just have a go at rating these from favourite to least favourite. And I'm going to say that probably my favourite was the cabbage, the stuffed cabbage, just because that filling is lovely and meaty, really substantial, meaty pork filling in there. Second favourite, I think, is probably actually going to be the larger of the two vine leaves, the Tam-Tad. I think it's Tam-Tad variety. Quite tasty, especially if it's dipped in a sauce that isn't the stuff that came in the can. A bit of tomato sauce on that to dip that into makes that into a really tasty little bite. Third favourite, probably the fish, red pepper stuffed with fish. And then hard to place these two, actually, these last two. I think probably the vine leaves. And the pork stuffed, the red pepper stuffed with pork was the one that was most disappointing of the lot. Just not enough texture for something that claims to have meat in it. So there we go, the 100th episode of Weird Stuff in a Can, a variety of stuffed stuff on Weird Stuff in a Can on Atomic Shrimp. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.